Yes, guys, I believe Bitcoin is going to pop, and that massively. And the question is, of course, in which direction are we popping? Are we popping to the upside or to the downside? Which way will it go? That is something that I'm going to talk about with you today, in which direction I believe Bitcoin is going to pop here. And the pop is not that far away. It will happen really, really, really soon. And I show you when I believe this might be the case. So, and of course, I have prepared for you much more content today, so definitely stick around here until the end and make sure that you are subscribed to the channel, like this video, and also activate the bell to never miss out on these important updates. And now let's directly get into today's content. So when we are going here to the 1 hourly chart, what we can see here, overall Bitcoin is still in this bigger range, trapped of 29,800 all the way up to 31,300. I have the feeling I sound already like an old broken record because yeah, we're not leaving the range. You know, every day I'm pointing it out that we are still stuck in that range, but it's fine. You know, so and within that range we have formed this ascending triangle here. And now, in my opinion, what's happening here is that we see, or that we are in the process of seeing, a potential fake out. And that is here, that whole area where we actually broke down from it and potentially break back into it and then go to the upside and complete also the technical target for it. We have seen that multiple times in the past happening for a Bitcoin. This will be, in my opinion, only invalidated if we come up here and we see a rejection back to the downside. But otherwise, that might be right now a valid scenario where Bitcoin is breaking back in and the next candle is directly breaking above, finding support and continuing the upwards trajectory with a deviation. So now when we're looking at the price target, I think it was 30,900-ish. Let's see. Yeah, almost $31,000. So $30,988 would be the target here. So here I will be aggressive on a long position. Once we are breaking $30,310, now let's make it a little bit higher to be sure. Let's take here these high points. 30,341. Once we are breaking that and we are closing a 1 hourly candle close to that level, so we broke already back into the ascending triangle, I'm open a long position there to trade this all the way up to 31K, to the technical target. Because the chances are really, really high that we are reaching it once we are breaking back into that ascending triangle, and it looks like the price action wants actually to go there right now. So we see here this candle pushing and pushing to the upside, so we could see that in the next 2-3 hours actually happening, and the video will come out at a time where you still have, you normally should have the chance to take advantage of that. And other than that, you can clearly see that we have here this distinct ascending triangle. We have here equal highs along the horizontal line, and the upward sloping trend line. We have here higher lows clearly. So, and here you see the price action is going now for a retest. Like I said, if we break into the back into the triangle, we close the candle within the triangle, that is the one where I want to take a long position to the technical target all the way to the upside. So and just here, when we're looking at this, and you should use a tight stop loss. So my stop loss will be here at 30,255, more or less where the price is right now. That will be my stop loss. Almost 8-to-1 risk to reward ratio. So here 2.14% to the upside, 25x 50% to the upside on the money that I throw on that. So if it turns against me, I lose 5%. It's absolutely fine. You know, so if I trade with $10,000, I lose 500, but I potentially make 5,000. So that's absolutely fine. That risk to reward ratio here. Actually, let me leave that here. And guys, don't forget, if you want to trade with me together, then use BYBIT. Sign up on BYBIT if you don't have an account there just yet. Use that specific link here. It's really easy to sign up. Just takes like 10-15 seconds. Yeah, or you sign up on ASCENDEX. There also you still get $2,000 absolutely for free, and you get some free Bitcoins for just completing some simple, super simple tasks. So they give you some free Bitcoin, but also only with that specific link here, guys. So there's 32K that you can easily take here and use that for trades. The money is yours once it's credited into your account, and I can only highly recommend you to take the free money that these exchanges are giving you, because we're just in the beginning of the bull run, so you want to have a lot of money. Especially if you don't have a lot of money, you want to get a lot of money that you can use actually for trading. So now when we go back here to the 4-hourly chart, here is one of the reasons why I believe that Bitcoin is going to pop here really heavily soon to the upside. Yeah, to one of the sides, upside or downside. I haven't spoken already, but yeah, I actually think it will be to the upside, but under some conditions, not straight away. So I believe that we could jump to the upside if Bitcoin can reclaim here this area as support. So that means the price action has to push above the VPVR here, so here that yellow line, above these longest bars, and has to settle. So that would be $30,400. We have to settle above that level and find support, and then we can see a move into higher prices. If we get rejected from here, then most likely we go to the downside and see a pop to the downside. And then when you look here on the VPVR, the point of control is all the way down at $26,800. Obviously, I don't believe that we go that low. I really don't see that happening. Let me maybe adjust the VPVR here a little bit. It would change. Yeah, so there it's around 28. And that makes sense in my opinion. 28 makes definitely sense. But I believe here that cluster will be our stopping point. 29,200, 28,600 in that kind of range, if we're gonna break this whole range here to the downside. Another sign why we're gonna see here a massive move in Bitcoin pretty soon, I also want to point that out here, is when we look at the volume. We have, since we're broken into that range here, we have more or less declining volume here overall. So we have here this outlier with that crazy candle that went from the top straight to the bottom and tried to break the range but didn't. And also here the same thing a couple of days ago when we tried to break it. So, but these are outliers, so overall the volume is still declining, and we have not seen a distinctive move that led to leaving the range. So a distinctive move would have been a breakout to the upside, and we would not come back into that range, or a break to the downside, and we would potentially just retest this and continue to go lower. But we did not see that. So we did not leave the range at all yet on declining volume. So, and that can also only go on for so long until Bitcoin is actually breaking to either side. So, and this will be happening, in my opinion, here this week. This week, we're going to see a decision in which direction Bitcoin is going to go. So, but I'm going to tell you, if we go here $120 higher and we stay above that level, then Bitcoin will definitely go into higher levels and not revisit these lows, because we are forming too much support here in that range right now to see any proper correction to the downside, which is fine. So that is actually something that we want for, at least if you're already in a position, you want that. So if you're not in a position, of course you want that it goes a little bit lower to enter at a cheaper price. But for now, for everybody in a position, that's what we want actually. So, and when we are going then here to the 12-hourly chart, also here, we can clearly see that the 30,000-ish level, 30,000, 30,100, is holding as support. And here, the RSI is slowly moving up to the downward sloping resistance line, and in the next 2 days it could break it to the upside. And if the price action follows at the same time, then the bearish divergence is invalidated. So that is something also that I'm looking forward to see how this is going to play out, because if the price action continues its trajectory and stays above 30K, then we definitely gonna invalidate the bearish divergence. So there also the bears running out of time to push the price lower, to let the bearish divergence play out and go potentially here to like 29, 28K. But the more time is passing, the more the time is running against the bears here to push it into lower prices. And guys, if you want to learn how to properly trade and analyze the markets, then don't forget that the link to my course is also in the pinned comment below and in the description below. You just have to click here on courses on my website, amcrypto.us, and then you will see all the programs that I'm offering. So definitely take advantage of that for the coming bull market. You want to know how to trade and how to position yourself. And the course is actually taking you a couple of months to complete. So you want to be ready before the end of the year when the bull market is starting to know how to analyze the market and to take advantage and become financially free in the next bull run. So let's go on here with this 4-hourly fractal chart that I've shown you guys yesterday. Remember, I had told you that I believe here that fractal is playing out here. And when we are looking at the candles, it looks more and more now that this is actually the case. So look here at the final stage. Look at this. Look here only at this. And now look at this. Does that not look identical, more or less? So we had here a big move to the upside with immediate rejection to the downside. And then we had here a consolidation phase that was somewhat narrowing like this. And look what we had here. So we had the same thing. Big move to the upside, immediate rejection. And we have also something like this here. So if that doesn't look similar to you, then I just don't know, you know. So that also looks pretty viable to me, that we see a big pop to the upside in the next coming days. So that should be, yeah, by the end of the week potentially, where we're going to see that kind of move. Yeah, and we are going to see here, you know. But it looks for me right now like that the price action is mirroring this fractal from early April and end of March here. Then here on the 4-hourly chart here, nothing really has majorly changed. The Bitcoin price is still fighting with the daily pivot here around the blue dotted lines to stay above that. So once we are staying above that, we can see definitely another attempt to the monthly resistance here at $33,000 all the way up here. Lose the daily pivot and we go a little bit lower. Then we go here to the monthly pivot to $28,912 in my opinion. So it will be either way, one of these two. But like I said, right now, I believe the pop will be to the upside and we should be ready for that. So I just want to show you here something. I don't want to say it's stupid, but I don't really believe that this is a rising wedge, even if it kind of is a rising wedge. But let me show you guys. So here's the reason why it's for me not a proper rising wedge here, what you're seeing here on the 3-day chart. So of course you have price action creating higher highs and higher lows along both lines here. Yes, you have that. That is one of the ways how you categorize a rising wedge. So, but here comes something that normally is invalidating the rising wedge. So you have kinda average volume in the rising wedge. And that is something that you normally don't have. You don't have steady volume in a rising wedge. You have normally declining volume in a rising wedge, which is here not the case. So we don't have here a volume, we don't have here a massive volume spike from this downwards move, and then we have overall declining volume. No, we don't have that. So we have overall, when we draw a line here, we have averaged out volume. So, and that makes me believe that this is not a proper rising wedge, and most likely we're going to see also a breakout here to the upside out of that rising wedge instead of a breakdown. So of course we can come back and revisit here the upward sloping support line. I don't think that we will even get close there. So most likely if we actually go down, it will stop at 29K. there, and then we see a bounce back to the upside, breaking out of that. So I have just seen that today. Somebody was posting it, and I immediately thought something is wrong with that. And then I just looked at the volume, and I immediately saw what the issue was with it. So don't bank on this rising wedge. And I show you now why this is so ridiculous, that rising wedge. So you know a rising wedge. The technical target for a rising wedge is the bottom of the rising wedge. So that would mean Bitcoin would go back to like 15K. That's why I'm saying it's ridiculous to draw this rising wedge, because the volume is not in alignment by textbook, and also the technical target is highly unlikely to be happening here in my opinion ever again, that we're going to see these prices again. So I don't believe that. So 25K in the mid to long term, potentially, yes. So but 15K, no, never. And this is even slightly under 15K. It's not going to happen. So just wanted to point that out. I've seen a couple of people posting that and talking about that. In my opinion, it's nonsense. Just ignore it. Guys, that's it already for today's episode. I hope you enjoyed it. Please make sure that you smash up the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell, and I'll see you then again tomorrow.